All right, we're going to do a test here, and this is going to be using my trade plans, which are nothing more than scripts that are limit orders that I'll hand place in the order in the market where I perceive there to be a really high probability of the two things coming together. That if this is really a supply zone, if this is really a demand zone, um, and I should be able to perceive that right now in this moment. And it is true that some of the, if you're going to swing trade it, that you may be 20 hours from getting filled because you're waiting for the market to engulf into the edge of the market. So I was able to watch some ICT. Now I almost got my brain around what he's doing, and I've kind of figured out why it's kind of clunky and why he. So you can see the lineage there. He studied with this floor trader, right? So he comes from the world of, well, when the market opens, you don't do this on the open. So I'm totally against any kind of like judging or confirmation of what I'm doing. So it's just a very open field of pure risk. It's pure risk. And it really comes down to risk. So this is the heartbreakers that it's not about brains, it's about money management, which is a very boring topic, but exposure management. So if exposure to risk to me is the key. If you place an order out there that's 150 pips deep and it lasts for 15 minutes, I'm going to bet you $1 to a hole in Biden's brain that there's no fucking way you're getting filled on that. Now you might get filled, and when there's a flash crash in the yen, if you look at some of these end of the year trades, like take a look at that shit. You want to see. So ICT's concept is look at the weekly, this and that. And if it does this, I'm like, this is the clunkiest shit I've ever seen in my life. He's taking the opening, drawing it forward. Well, he gives us giant range. But what he does say is true, is that, some traders cannot handle buying low. They need the fucking confirmation. I just watched another video where the guy goes, well, it starts to go up, then I'll get in. And then he's probably going to put in his, Fibonacci's and all that. But if you're going to trade one ticket at a time, and you're going to try to make a living trading one ticket at a time, what time frame is this set up on? Is this a 1 hour pullback? Is this a mini flash crash? Is this like a super tight spread? Is this a big position? Is this going to be 20 pips on 5 standard lots, or is this going to be 10K, 500 pip move that took a month? Okay, that's two different worlds, between the guy that can hang through a swing trade. And so I'm going to run a swing trade bot actually on the strategy tester. And look at this move on here. Now, this is the recent behavior of the euro versus the pound. Pretty mind-blowing, I must say. The euro versus the pound, if you look back last week, now, did anybody trade that? And this is probably the biggest risk to reward ratios. These kind of patterns on here are schizophrenic, but you can see the next one forming right now. But the only issue is the true range is changing so brutally that if I go this is the weekly chart, by the way, so, but this could be a 4-hour chart. I've seen this, and this is a 100 pip grid here. So to me, it looks like this could be a 1 hour chart. So that could be a 10 pip grid on those big numbers, those big horizontals. Now the one that's labeled on the right is 50 pips. So we know that's 50 pips, and even with a bad spread, even on some of these exotic pairs, as they say, that's going to be easy to trade, I mean, it's going to be easy to perceive, well, I'm looking to make 150 pips with a 100 pip stop. So I wrote this robot, and I just tested it on the pound. I found a place where it performs so well, and what it is nothing more than my scripts being launched by this mechanical system that all its criteria is what time is it? It's time and price bot, really. It has no other criteria. There's no moving average. There's no RSI. There's no MACD. There's not even the algorithmic headlines that the Vantage system gives you because they can predict the next. I mean, does anybody believe that shit? So I guess if you're wearing a mask, right, you're in. But it's harebrained. So what we're going to do here is prove that range trading, given the right range and the right script, the right trade plan to fit it, and I'm running it. So I did several tests to see what it looks like in equity swings so that when the market opens and I manually place these strategies of buy low, sell high, it's I'm not back testing the exact same thing, but the concept of buy low, sell high, you need to somehow see that it does make money in a blind placement without any criteria other than what time is it. And so what time is it? And the orders come in, and you don't have to be there for it. This is the other beauty. So this is very unemotional system. Now this is what I think Ryan Brown is doing, but mine is blatant. Mine has no criteria it needs to launch other than what time is it. I guess it's a hammer time. What time is it? Robot. Comes with sample every time it launches tickets. It says, what time is it? But that's extra. But I ran these limit systems, and the two criteria that's going to make the most amount of difference. There's only two settings. This is how often do we launch the scripts? Well, I'm sorry. I would say there's three criteria. How deep is the limit you're launching? How long does it last? And how often do they get launched? If we have a constant exposure every 4 hours, we know our dollar risk in terms of a real conservative risk. Now, these are tickets that may not fill, and this is why you'd use a robot for the system. And it takes time to maintain a robot. And if you know how to trade, manual traders would probably not even conceive of running all these robots, because they're like, dude, I'm doing fine. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But it is coming to the point where if you look at the market as a static pricing phenomena, liquidity's on both sides of this thing. Okay, there's no such thing as one guy's order blocks another guy's target. So if it's really the reversal is going to be the lowest risk trade, obviously, but it's going to be the most counterintuitive because you're not getting confirmation. You're getting in at the edge where it reverses. So, and once it reverses, it's looking to reverse again. So the whole time that you're even in anything that's up or down, winning wise, I guess I'm just trying to reduce the psychological burden per ticket. So what do I give a fuck if I'm in 21K? That's some bullshit trade that a lot of people wouldn't take because they say, well, what's the chance the market's, what's the chance it's not? There's no, so in a static environment, here's the weekly. So we're looking at the weekly. Don't forget that's a weekly chart. But this is also another example of what people would call the so-called smart money, which was cracking people up on this one video. But look, obviously there's a 200 pip. I could just call it a 200 pip window of insanity liquidity because it's very old. And right on top of the Williams Fractal calls it out here is a 200 pip window. But the robot I'm going to run is just picking up static shit. I mean, this is obviously for the hand-placed orders of like, dude, I'm waiting you waited like a month to get filled. It's a month from the dotted line horizontally to the dotted line. So we have 3 months of data here. If I scrunch out one level, your head's going to explode. If you're looking for all the nooks and crannies that are tradable here, and just the weekly alone, this is a gold mine. If you're going to get in right at in 100 pip, you can obviously make yourself 100 pips a week here. If not, okay, this is going to seem like it's cherry picking, but let's just look at some of the high drama reversal moments here that just are just beyond the point. Just don't see this stuff very often, and some of it's corona induced, which is basically people just losing their minds. Even the robots are trading it, people are trading this shit, and the robots were written by people. So the robots, some self-learning robots, there's pieces of shit, right? It's like Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin's half off right now. By the way, Bitcoin could tread water here for fucking blow your mind. People be like, it's going up, it's going down. You know what? I've seen this phenomenon before. After wave 3 in the Elliott wave theory of the crudest form of Elliott wave is that there's wave 0, rock bottom. Wave 2 is the first glimmer of retrace. Then it pulls back. And then you're supposed to get into the 618 or the 3.88 at the pull back of wave 2. Wave 3 is the biggest wave of all, and wave 4 is consolidation, and that's the longest wave. So most markets are in consolidation 80% of the time. This idea that you're going to see these giant moves, yes, but the whole setup to that move, and it never moves the same again. Sure, it's going up, but in a different way. That's why there's no way you can write a robot for how a bird's going to lay how many eggs, and how many eggs are going to work out, and how many pieces of straw are in the fucking nest, really? So you got an algo that's going to tell me in my neighborhood the thread count of the nest that's on my porch, right? And so not going to happen, and so let it go. But this is a tremendous, if you big long-term smart money that can handle a 200 pip window of accumulation underneath this, and just trading this, right? Just think of how much money you can make just trading this nonsense. It never gets above these tops. I wish Williams would do a fractal on the close, but they're doing it on the wicks. That's fine. I just thought of that. If you could have fractals here, just every time it turns, bang, bang. Actually, they kind of do match up, so the closing prices are in a line. But see, there's a delayed, see how it climaxes, but there's one more left. That's why people that trade divergence in RSI get clobbered. Because they see the divergence there, and they're right. They're right about the trade, but look how you get wicked out. And that's the idea that you're going to place your stop just above. Oh, they'll never get my stop. It's 100 pips up here. Yeah, right, buddy. Well, I think that fading the Williams fractal entry, if you're supposed to sell here, confirmationists would sell here, we're going to dump into this vacuum, then obviously the opposite is better. We dip into this deep vac here, this one wick down, it's just like 20 pips lower, then rips your face off this way into this vac. So to me, it's a vac to vac situation. Sure, when you take this out, there are people that buy that and they make a tremendous amount of money back to here, but they had to scalp that. And look how the guys that sell, they got their ass kicked. If they sell here just because it closed up, so you can see the fallacy of getting on one technique. Yes, you could buy at the market right here, and you could put buy limits down here, but would you put a buy stop up here? Why? Maybe a sell limit. So how far away of current price are you? Now this robot I'm going to run, if it's in here, it's going to be 60 to 120 pips deep for, I think, 4 hours. It drops it every day, and it is a soft stop and a soft take profit. So try to feather out the risk. We don't know. Of course, the robot is a blind bot, and what I'm calling off all these trades here are just supply and demand zones that are just the weekly wick, for God's sakes. I mean, look at this drama here. Now, if you go to the daily chart and you look at this, you just have to say, holy shit. Just 200 pips on nonsense. Is it building up for a big move? Maybe. Is it consolidating for a drop down? Who cares? I mean, I'm not going to be, certainly when it starts to go after this giant void left behind. I mean, let's face it. When you come down and fill this void, game over here, what's left in the game? Like what stop in stop hunt terms has not been hunted? When we go ripping up here, are you really going to put a sell stop here and a buy stop here and go, yeah, I'm going to try to break out of that bar because it might collapse? You're a genius, but your risk is really, you're going to tell me your risk was there and you're looking to make this. How about if it closes down? So when you start to melt into this hole, people say, well, what do you do there? Now, look at the reaction off this fractal. In 1 week, it bang. So when it chunks down in here, it is violent. This is the most brutal reversal on the chart, right? We clear up 200 pips in 1 week, giving back this whole walk down. Well, the pressure's building up on the upside now. So the pressure's building above and below the market. And we just wicked this. So anybody that put a sell limit here, you could add a cluster of sell limits in this little mini VAC. So they go from shallow to deep. In the static bot that I wrote, what's going to go on here is that you need to pick the right robot for the conditions that you're at. Somebody talk about, well, market conditions. When the market's ripping up like this, and your ATR per week, literally per week, no 14 smooth, you have to just look at that. And that was another thing that ICT was talking about is like, okay, the weekly, dude, there's really, he does 2 trades a week, he says. He's trying to make 50 pips. All right, you know what? You're a low-frequency trader. Not everybody is going to be able to do that at $1,500 for the mentorship. And, you know, if you want to do it, go ahead. I just don't, to me, I don't get it. You know, it's just, his rule set to me reminds me of, well, don't play out of key. Well, you're playing jazz, you know, you have to play out of key, dumb shit, so to speak. You have to bend the rules. I mean, so that I'm not a rule guy. That's right. So I guess what's just very disturbing about ICT is this. He's got his lexicon. He's got his rule list, and I'm like, who can fit into these into this view of them? You know, see the market the way. And then so the spin-offs from that. There's some guy called the Trading Nut who's been like this endorser of him. But I think it's about the mentorship because ICT is saying, if you are afraid to buy low, then you're going to have to wait for the confirmation entry. And that's his shtick, so to speak. I mean, that's what he does. But it is funny because the smart money, dumb money view, the robot doesn't have that view. So this is the only thing I could say good about the objective view of the robot trading. So I'm going to let the robot do it. And whether this is going to be this kind of week, that kind of week, and if I unleash that robot with a 300 pip deep, so you'd have to like say, we're about to go in this giant vacuum. Let's break out these giant swing bots. Well, why would you, right? If you know how to jump on the 4-hour train, or you see what's about to happen, the brutality that's about to occur, because you're about to tip into this giant void. If you were right here on this chart, in this week right here, and you come into the picture, and you see this, and you're like, you know, this is a tremendous amount of unvisited price, and we've already hollowed this out. We've crushed down here, and it's like, well, what's left? Are we going to go like this and tank? Possibly. But what if it turns out that these giant voids here that form, so I'm looking at this big Gartley void, I guess. What's going to happen? There's going to be hell to pay because after we feed on this zone and in this 200 pip window, holy shit, just mind-blowing crush. If you sell at the market, you better have a fucking stop here because it wicked up and then it just crushed down. But if we just throw limits out there, and our sell limits aren't getting filled, so I'm throwing out a symmetrical pair of buy and sell limits. Now I'm going to make it more dramatic, I'm going to frame the market down to just a very small window like I have on my phone. So all the orders I put in, I look at it on my Android version of MT4 because they only allow you to frame it. You're stuck with only so many candles per zoom in. So if you pick the 4-hour chart and you zoom in, you see like 5 candles. You're really tortured by the fact that you also can't rescale that phone. So it forces you to deal with a fixed calibration tool, which is not, it's kind of annoying because you want to see the bigger picture, but you don't want to go that big because the market's constantly changing. It's dynamic. So you're literally, like if somebody came in a recording studio, they're as loud as a jet plane, and then you can barely hear them. You're like, dude, get it together. So the market's very chaotic and torturous as far as it goes from quiet to loud back to quiet, but randomly. So that chaotic 3D chaotic shit is too much, right? So all the different angles. So let's get this robot here. I'm gonna see if I got it loaded properly because I had to compile these guys. But yeah, I spent quite a time, and I call this a harmonic scalp, blah blah blah. Now these are fitted, curve fitted, and the name of the robot is a indication of what it's going to do. So I have this soft retrace, 60 to 120 with 140 pip stop. But I think my softness of the stop is about a 15 pip window, maybe. We could take a look at the code, but let's load this guy first. And I'm going to run a British pound because there's not enough volatility possibly in the euro dollar to trigger it. I'm going to go back a year. I'm using a 20 pip spread. This is it's better than that at the broker, so it's a bad spread, which is I'm going to discount the robot here. I'm going to go for a 4-hour chart, and then I'm going to load my template as soon as we get to that point. Okay, so this is my. I think the drop here is going to be every 240 minutes. So every 4 hours, we're going to drop an array of limits. You'll see them come in above and below, and you'll see the stops come in. First, I'll let it trade with the template, the default that comes with MetaTrader. But yeah, these are. I'm always curious to see the performance here. Now, we might blow up the account and we might make money, but that's determined by the volatility having a good fit to the current conditions, because you can see by that euro versus the pound when it goes into a trend mode. Oh, wait a second. Okay. I'm not going to run every tick, by the way. So, but that's not going to change much of the outcome here. I just don't have the time to run fucking every tick. So we're going to go the crude method because it's a conceptual thing. I'm not worried about. You can do every tick if you want, but it's just this robot don't need every tick. It's just dropping this shit on the clock. So here we just want to see if it makes money. The concept. So we have buy low, sell highs coming in. Now the equity is going to get hammered. And if we can balance it out, if we can make it through some of these swings, mind you, it's got to drop. The orders last all day. So we have a layer of 6 tickets, and you can see when the big tickets, it's a martingale system, which means the deeper it goes, the more it buys. So you can see the big buys down here at the bottom. And when it goes against it, you'll see it almost blow it up. But if you have another robot that's trading another window, and of course, you have to launch these robots based on what you think's coming. So these are one-trick pony bots, but you're going to have to know when to launch it. That's the only thing you got to worry about. Now, some of the data here on the pound is either the election or there's some weekend gaps. We'll see the punishment of the equity there. Now, the equity is coming back up $130 here. Start off with a $10,000 account. And so watching this play out, now I'm going to put my grid in now, put my template in. Here's the one I just wrote. This is the 100 pip with the. Now, just in sheer pips, we can see 50 pips on that right side. What do we have? I can delete some objects here. I think it. Here, here we go. Cleaned it up. So it freaked out when it came in. So there's 50 pips on the right-hand side, those big handles that are listed, and then the 100 pips is that darker, which is hard to see because the color I chose for the entry is black. So this is literally just putting in buy and sell limits. So this is a strategy I talk about. This is grid trading on limits. And what, would I change anything? I wouldn't. That's a great trade. Like, that's a trade that most people wouldn't take. So I'm trying to have look at it's making money. So why is it making money? Because it just so happens that the market can drop in one day. Here's the other thing is that as the market moves, you notice the tickets are moving with the market. If it goes down, and also it's martingaling in. The punishment area is right here. Look at how it's getting this drawdown. It's just mind-boggling because of the you're stressing the account out here. Look at the fills here, big old fills, right? But that's a recovery point. And Ryan Brown would know this stuff. If you go against the market here, so it's contrarian down in $9,500, but then it's able to get these perfect fills where you're not overfilling. So when I trade manually, I know that, yeah, this is going to be a tough, like, you're going to take every entry technique has its own downfall, its own weak point. But look how this thing does so well when it has just the right amount of fillage. A little overfill there, but boy, does it make it. It just takes your equity here. Now, the only other thing would be to run a robot behind this that is a money management bot to shore up some of these profits. But then it's going to reduce some of your outlandish targets. So if you implement any type of, now we're getting kind of overfilled. And unless this turns out to be an amazing retrace that just so happens to hit my targets, and my targets are soft, so it's trying not to blow up the account by getting out of something along the way here, and also having the soft stop so it can accumulate giant positions. Like, so it's getting in heavy now. We expect to see a recovery. So when the market heats up, if you can imagine adding to this code the criteria that, or you could just do it. You could just say, this is going to be a fucking wild week. Let's put the wild bots out. Let's put these giant. Now, that's also, you're going to monitor that fill. I would look at it on my phone and say, fuck them up on that trade. God damn it. Now, taking one instrument and running 5 bots on it. So this concept here, imagine on the 15-minute chart. Every 15 minutes you're dropping scripts that you wouldn't drop every 15 minutes because you can't be awake all night. And it's doing trades that can make this kind of thing that now your enemy is going to be the spread here, where I'm running a 2-pip spread fixed on this giant stop, 140 pip deep stops. The market's trapped in this envelope. I guess is a return to, these are retracement trades where you're buying low, selling high. And also, it's not getting out of the other legs, so it's probably getting into a winning hedge at some point here until it kicks loose, and then, because there is no money management on this robot. That's the bad downside. I have an ATR breakout bot, supposedly, I got for free on the internet that I posted, and that, any of the ATR robot videos shouldn't have a link to that, but that has a trailing stop, and that fucking thing makes money because you can outlandish trades like you're going to scalp it, and the thing make money because it runs that tight stop, and no matter what, it makes money. It's trading like a standard lot too. It's trading a half a standard lot, and because it's really snugly protecting itself, which giant swing trading like this, the whole account could blow up. These are vicious fills here. Look at this market. So let me go to the end. So this could blow up the account, or it could make a ton of money. It depends really where we're at in the scheme of volatility. And the trend bot's the same way. The trend bot's going to get whipsawed, typically. So if you open your account right here, look how heavy these fills are. So it's accumulated quite a bit. And for the person that's trading this manually, they can see this big void forming up here probably. And they're saying to themselves, yeah, I mean, after all of this, we're looking for this to get filled. And it does get filled. But it's momentary. And of course, if we're capturing... Now he thinks to be violent on the upside. If another robot came in with tickets up here, layered on top, and then if you took, this is quite a bit of trading. I think I got 10Ks on here, so the bottom ticket is, let's take a look at the code here. We can look at the code while it's blowing up the account. Another modern advance in trading is the ability to test these schemes out. Okay, so we're going to go to the trustee navigator. And we open up the, if it's underneath the indicators, the experts. It's struggling because we're testing. Oh, too many indicators. Once again. Okay, this is called the... Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to do this. So here's the other thing I wanted to do was just, instead of looking at the view like this, I wanted to see the severe as the market's coming at you view. I guess I won't be able to do that. Let's just look at anyone. Oh, that's the ATR bot. This is the harmonic retrace. Here's one with a soft stop, soft target. So this is martingaling into a 10K. By the time you get down to the bottom here, as the market crashes into these tickets, and I suppose this is the art and science of it all. You can just decide how deep you want to get in. So it starts buying at 65 pips deep. The market's plunging. And you've only got the time on this is going to be set at how long do the tickets last? Now these last all day, but every 4 hours you're dropping it. So here's where you put in this number, and then on the same on the sell side, if it's above plus the bid, and this is the stop, and this is take profit. This is a bad ratio, by the way. Why is this a bad ratio? Because the scheme here is that the market's going to go zooming up 65 pips to 130 pips without going past 1600, and this ticket's going to get stopped out about here or something. So you're going to lose if you try to capture all the way to a 10K, and this is only 5 pips difference here. So there's, it gets pretty intense there, and you change the spacing here, it changes everything, but then you have to change it here to be fair. It's very difficult. This might be a better fit if you put it on a Eurodollar, and so it's all about, you have to have the proper robot running to make that, if you're going to do one-trick pony bots. Now the all-in-one bot that's trying to do everything to me is just a complete joke, but that's just me. I suppose with money management, the trailing stop, it's not. With money management being the core of the system and the entry criteria being bullshit, it's going to do better. So far, we're blowing up this account. Let me skip to the end there. I can't handle all that bullshit. So it almost blew up the account, but it recovered here. So had you opened your account here, you look like a genius, right? So if I might take my sample series, now I'm going to go for a less aggressive robot. How about every 60 minutes? Here, this is very aggressive. Every 60 minutes, we're dropping tickets all day. But I suspect now we're going to have to put up the euro dollar because we're probably just going to, on the pound, I guarantee you, we'll blow it up. And a lot of these currencies kind of do have a set volatility. I'm just going to skip to the end. So you see what's going on there. Should be self-explanatory. Okay, look, it had a brilliant move there. So look at how much money I made on the euro with just this robot. Now, could you handle this drawdown is my question. And this is so let's take a look at the code. What we got? The harmonic swing bot. This might be this is hard stop and soft take profit, by the way. And you can see this and this is just my abbreviations for that. So, these are free. You can play with these. I don't care. Knock yourself out, but you can see how in this sample period, trading this crude system that has no criteria for entry other than just throwing fucking tickets out there. Now I can do the every tick playback, right? I can compare notes. If I got 1,200 trades here, and we almost doubled the account at one point. Any point here, you could open the account at the wrong time and not survived it, right? If you open your account here, you probably blew up the account. So that's a little deceiving, don't you think? I think this runs the same regardless of time frame. So the 15-minute chart, let's see, we got 12,000 trades. That's the other thing to consider, but I've seen this thing trade with real money and fake money, and it does do the drop when it's supposed to drop. But see here on the 15, it's still made money, but look at this equity. And this is the hard stop, soft take profit. So you see how it's cashing out. The equity, the balance isn't doing too good there, but look at how they flip around each other. Of course, I have the crudest method. I need to put on the every tick maybe on that. But this is as far as I've made it in the world of programming EAs, so to speak. But this is my dream bot, really, because I just wanted to throw tickets out there. Something I don't want to do. Look at every ticket makes money. Smoother. No, same kind of bizarre equity curve. So every tick's the same. So this is not affected by the crude method 1 hour chart. Now if I put it on the 1 hour chart, probably has a different equity. It seems to run on every time frame, even the 1 minute chart. A lot of robots don't. They need too much criteria, too many offset. There's so much crap going on in those robots, Okay, here's the 1 hour. So 1 hour, same kind of looks like the 4 hour. But look at the nature of the cash out. That's based on the way the stop is. So if I go for another robot in this, now this is a really aggressive robot. These tickets are gonna last all week, but they only drop every day. So the amount of trading there, I always want to remember this last number, 6,700, would double the account, almost. Different robot now. So if you have multiple robots running, see how deep these tickets are. I don't know if we're going to get filled on that. Oh, here's the thing I wanted to do. Is just crop this down. And it looks like I have to start that before the video starts. So you're only allowed to see this much of the market, and you can zoom in and out. So to kind of get yourself, that's how deep the tickets are. I mean, if we ever fill on these tickets, so look at this. We made a couple bucks out of the gate. And I can scrunch down. So you see my buy and sell trade plans. using the ATR, those are 50 pip. No, wait, these are, oh shit, is that, do I have the right handles? Wait, 50 pip handles there? No. Wait a second. That's 10 pips. Oh, well. But you see how these get closer together, the grid? That is the 1 hour chart. So this is the, without regard to anything other than, so currently making a little bit of money here just from throwing random orders. Real long expirations though. But kind of under trading a little bit compared to the other. So I got these racks above and below. They last. See how it's a constant exposure? They're going to disappear here in a little bit. All those tickets are stacked. And I suppose there are robots trading like this. I'm certainly trading like this with manually. So I'm putting in my tickets above and below these fractals. 1 hour chart. The robot could be trading a little bit closer to the market, in my opinion. But look at when it fills, it gets into the extreme points in these last. Let me see the frequency was here coming in at. Okay, every day and they last a week. So really under trading the market. So let's skip to the end though. Because maybe this is a very low risk bout, right? So it's not killing it, but look, it made money. Here's where it really gets filled up, and I guess it's getting crushed here. And so for the sampler, I'm just going to go to I'm curious to run it on the 4 hour. See if I get a different trade amount. 190 here. That's all I need to know is how many tickets are we filling. So I kind of included the commissions in the. Oh, wow. More trades here. I'll go to daily. I bet it trades like crazy in the daily. Oh, shit. Wait. So I don't know what that has to do with the. Yeah, so they last all week. Same amount of trades. Another robot to load here. And of course, you can make these robot names maybe about 50 characters and just try to describe the whole trade plan here. So knowing which robot to place in there is going to be the magic. I say go for the. This is kind of close to the market. Here's a high frequency drop. Every 60 minutes, supposedly all day. I have to check that in the code, but this will be a high frequency or a lot of tickets filling. I go to the classic 1 hour chart, the 4 hour chart. So we're trying to look at these candles on a 4 hour frame coming at us here. Drop the template with the 50 pip grid. Okay, so we're looking at 50 pips there, and this has got a robot's running. Starts buying at 50 to 100 with 150. Big fat stop. Hard to stop out the spot. Hard to blow it up. And we're dropping every 60 minutes. You have to make sure your broker can run that many tickets simultaneously. That's one thing the robot cannot. It'll drop like probably an unfillable amount of tickets. Let's make this really extreme view of framing the market in this as the market's coming at you view. Just relying on my pip grid for so all you can see is like this. Could you trade if you could only see this much of the market? It's bizarre. I have a fixed scale, so we can only see. Now watch the ATR change, just in terms of this column on the right. That'll be our scale. Let's see if we're making any money. Probably blow up the account at this point. Now we had some success there, but I'm going to speed that up. Go maximum speed. 32. Watch ATR change here on that scale. So now the ATR went down. Closer they get together. And you're looking at about 200 pips there. It's 50 pips per horizontal line. Now it's insane, right? And this robot might make money now because it trades really deep. It's also martingaling in. See the size going up there. So if you launched that robot right about now, when the ATR is currently X, but you're anticipating more drama. Now it seems to be making money in this small, quiet. Now it's heating up. Okay, now it's insane. I don't know why it's coming in with these. I must have something I saved, unfortunately, in the objects. I just deleted all the objects, start over. So now, had a nice streak here, and getting just the right amount of Goldilocks fills. Look at no. That's the other thing about the performance is that we're not getting too filled. We never max it out. When we max it out like this, we do make some money. That strategy makes money in these, like it's loading the wagon here and loading here and loading here. And I suppose that's responsible for this cashing out nice equity run. So if you could just have this part of the robot, I only want this part of the robot. Of course, and this would be the, you overfill here, you just get pummeled. Yeah, you make a retrace. There's no money management in this thing, unfortunately. So we martingale, just go insane fills here, but the recovery, the equity comes above the balance as it cashes out. Here's another spectacular mega fill, So that is the strategy working. Mega fills, just astounding returns. And if you turn off one leg and you trade it with a little bit of brains and say, I think we're going to bounce, then we would just launch the long side of the bot. The cool thing about the strategy tester is we can actually go long only here. So let's go long only. Stop this current bot. I kind of want to just skip to the end and see the end of the story here. Okay, so it kind of recovered. You can make claims. Oh, look, it makes money over so-and-so years. Yeah, dude, let's explain this part to me. So, also that has no, we're going to just trade the long side now. I suspect half as many trades, maybe so 2,500 trades. A whole $300 in goddamn 1 year of trading, I think. Okay, just a little bit beyond, a little bit short of a year. So 4-hour time frame and 2,500 trades. Now we're going to just go long only and see just what that looks like. I'm curious, and generic algorithm, whatever that is. Starting with 10 grand. And 300. We made the whole $300. So it took us 2,500 trades. Okay, any market set go. I suspect less trades. We're going to skip to the end of the story. Less trades and it made money. It made more money. Less trades. So we put a little bit of thinking into that. Oh, I think I want to buy. I think it's going to retrace. So we'll go long only. And what if I go short only? So we did about half as many trades. And if I go short only, it means that if we make more money short only on another account, it means that the hedges aren't working out. The winning hedges don't resolve themselves in a good money management way, but we suspect that's probably true. So even testing like this is pretty fine tuning because we have a static bot and we're just changing one setting, which is long or short. So let's go for the so here we surpassed, here we got clobbered though. I'm not going to save an image of that. Unfortunately, we can't. We're going to wipe that as soon as we change the properties. But as that guy said, it is what it is. Skip to the end. Got killed. So it was better to go long. And can we look at the chart and say, how can we run? When should we run this bot? What are we coming up on that would make this robot work good? So let me just test it in visual mode. Put my template of 50 pips on. And because we went long, it turned out to be the winning strategy. Of course, here we're shorting it. I wonder if I can skip to the end there. I gotta scrunch out and see if I can. Is that all the data? Don't know. See. I don't think so because my time frame. But it must, maybe it was this crush here, right? So this retracement is why we made. See these. It happened to be the perfect fit for buying that deep in that scenario. So let's go and try the long bot. We'll go long only because to change the script is too painful. You don't want to even think that way. But this is a, you'd have to keep track of when you're going to go long and short. So we'll go deep longs. We're going to go for the soft target, this original one, but it's going to be long only. 60 to 100 with a 140 pip stop. Martingale. So long only. Same currency that was trading well on the long side. Not that great. So, and it has to do with like how deep are these tickets. And these are all hard static trade plans. There's no you ain't gonna fix that. So this is very aggressive. Starts buying 20 pips deep. Long only. Which is nice. We can get our brain around this. No money management either. Long and short's a little tough. Look, it made money. See, it made money going long only. Now, if I flip it and go short only, did I make, and it just happens to be this script on this currency pair, which is the euro. Now, there's no, I guess there is some magic here, and the thing is, don't forget, these are supposedly dropping every 4 hours, and they last all week. And we're starting at 20 pips. It's very aggressive trading. If I turn on both legs, so here is, we're at 23 with 5,000 trades. If I turn on both legs, I bet it doesn't do as good. So we have this 5,200 at 23. Now we're going to trade both legs. Not as good. Way more trades. Not as good. What if I go short only? And this is going to give us that. You know, you take those tapes and you put them next to each other to see the ghost image. Short only. This is that euro pair, though, which only made money on the long side for some reason, based on my retracement system. Okay, we're going to go short, right? Short only. With the, yikes. Sorry, I didn't turn off the Windows sounds. You got to turn those off. You lose your mind. So we're going to go for the losing trade plan, which is to sell into that. And it gets blown up. See, for some reason, it does good for this data set. Now, what if I change the data set? What if I change my history? Now, this is really kind of making a crude rule system, and this is a static trade that's going to be laid on top of different data sets to find out, well, if we went back deeper in time, maybe it made money. So if we say, well, maybe the market was doing a different maneuver back then, different sample rate. And when people talk about taking it back 40, 20 years, on one robot, yeah, okay, but the future can be rugged. And if you're starting the opening account, you can imagine anywhere along that equity path you could be getting open and just get clobbered. Selling only now in a different data set. Made money. Well, it made money until it lost, right? Until it blew up the account. I'm just curious. Unless I wrote the code wrong, I'll have to double check the scripts because when you write that many tickets, you can fuck it up. But let me go back, way back here into God knows what. And I'll just go to current day. So we'll just really torture this thing for our chart. And I'm going to go buy only. Because maybe I wrote the sell side wrong. Maybe it's a buy bot. It only works as a buy bot. Oof, see, there's some bad data there. Maybe that's why it makes money. It gets in that tremendous entry there. Look at this thing just stacking up the tickets here. Yeah, there's some bad data there. I don't know what the fuck happened there. That's not right. Okay, skip to the end. Can't watch this thing trade. It's too much. See, it blows it up from the long side. How about if we go short only now? So, even the retrace thing's affected by these, how far it's diving down. It's a trending retrace. It's a counter trend bot, I suppose. That doesn't seem to do any better this way either, though. Right? Did I run it? It's red, it's selling. That's kind of easy. It did good there, but then it just blows itself up. It's because it's selling for too long. Put a shallower bot in here. Yeah, it's fun to play with these things because, it just kind of gives you a... Here's a deep swing bot. Here's a soft stop. Here's a unique ticket. Every 4 hours we're dropping this deep swing scalp. So it's got different targets and weird shit going on. Sell only system there. Certainly some of these are going to perform better than others. Seems to get clobbered here. At least they didn't blow up the account. I'm going to try the long side of that. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You can never test this stuff ever before like this, so I don't like that data drop out there, though, at the beginning. So it does better on the long side for some reason. Until here. I feel like I should do every tick. See if I get a different trade amount. It seems to be testing very fast on here. So I think I can afford to do every tick. That's going to be my... I blow it up. There we go. Buy only every tick. Yeah, 1,100 trades last time. Same amount of trades, same data. Every tick don't matter to this robot. So that's nice to know. It's easy to... Oh, it does seem to matter that if we run every we change the time frame, it seems to matter how it performs. Yeah. So it's it's possible to make some of your money this way. I don't think you could write the Holy Grail bot and do it, It's every tick. I didn't have every tick engaged. I clicked the wrong thing. It's every tick now. So it's definitely taking longer to test it. But I think we end up maybe the same place. It seems to be doing better with every tick when our chart long only. Maybe that does matter. I don't know. I'm not really into this stuff. I trade based on what's going to happen Sunday night. I have my view of what's possible. So I hand place tickets out there, and I have quite a bit of scalps in there. A lot of times I'm risking 20 pips to make 10 pips. Of course, that doesn't always work out. See, now it's getting clobbered. It's martingaling in too hard. 1,100 trades was we got a control point only. Opens only. So the real world of trading, this is just an example of what it would be like if, And I could see here with a money management system coming kind of cutting into your profits here, but keeping it from blowing the account up. See, it's doing well now. It's coming out of the woods now a little bit, but it's still not 1,100 trades. I guess there should be more trades on every tick. That would be what I would suspect is going to happen. I'm no strategy tester expert. We're at 1,200 there. Look at that martingale in and blow it up. Now we're heavily into one side, but same amount of trades. Just took longer to test it. Now we're not even getting filled on half this stuff. Look at the market never even gets near these entries. It's ridiculous, right? Here we get really filled hard. So I say change the instrument. Go to the British pound now. And let's just see. We'll probably blow it up in 2 seconds. That's why they write robots. Remember, the original robots were written, most of them are written for a currency pair because you can't just run this. We got that fall out of bed data there. I don't like that. So long only on the British pound with the same robot. And now we're going to do, we're going to do, since it doesn't matter, we do a control point. Very crude. That's what I'm to. Crude. Crude wins. So it had a nice performance there, but I suspect we're going to blow this thing up. Not bad. Not bad. Okay, I'm going to try sell only here. Short only. Let's see what that's like. Just kind of curious. I think the whole thing is about curiosity at this point. It always has been. So we're only down, $100, and we're trying to get past that, regardless of trades. Well, I never look at this, but I'm sure people would. I just look at the graph. I just want to see the outcome. I'm outcome based. We're woke strategy testers. Sell only. Okay, it's getting killed. Yeah. Not good. I think this is the buy only that would have made some money there. Yeah, so apparently, if you're going against the trend here, which is how this makes money. What else I got? I don't know what this shit is. These are mystery bots here. Long only seems to make money for some reason based on the data set. Yeah, it's very interesting, very fast. I gotta pick a data set that doesn't have that fucking fall out of bed moment there in the beginning, though. That's the problem. It looked brilliant there, but look, it's getting annihilated. See. So I know that the buy-sell side is definitely going to get tortured, but it might be on that particular. So this is the land of might be's and maybes. I think the market's kind of obvious if you're going to hand place tickets. So here it paid off, right? It went to a hedge here and like, wow, but now it's just going to get annihilated, right? It gets into overtrade, see? It can't get out of that one hedge. In other words, to buy and sell that, you're counting on so much happening properly, it's not going to happen. So you really need to, if you're going to trade like this, and I'm not going to rewrite the script to go long only, short only, because I can just do that here. I'll always change the settings and decide, even on a MACD system, we could load the dumbest bot in the world. Here, let me put in the ATR bot. So here's the other robot that's going to counter what that is doing. It works good on a 4-hour chart, believe it or not. Not that I trade breakouts on a 4-hour chart, but the ATR bot has a weird criteria, and there are settings in there, and it is looking at stuff. There's a delta, how far the tickets are away. There are settings in there. And I just call it the ATR bot. So I wrote different versions. Here's a 12 pip trailing stop with a 22 pip initial looking to make 55 pips, and it's trading a goddamn the size should be on some of these. Some of these will have the lot size, but here's a 1K. But some of these are like big honking. So let's do this. Just for instance. Okay, so we got 9,000 trades there, and here we're going to go. We'll go long only. It's not really looked at that, but we're going to do long only. So this is going to be 4-hour chart. It's even trade. See how much money it makes? Because it has a trailing money management stop to it. So here we ATR of 1. Can this robot make this kind of money? You know? Okay, so we'll do every tick. 1920 trades. I've done videos on this thing. Now, I've never really actually run this even forward on fake money, but I am curious. It does I listed the settings here, so this has to do with the ATR and the delta and some other parameter. I'm not sure what that is. It's been a while, so if I go for the and it does make a difference in time frame here. It does great on the 4-hour chart. It does spectacular on the daily chart, and I don't know how it's doing it because it's doing so much data though too. 1920 trades. What if I go long and short? This would be a non-directional breakout system. I think it's going to get whipsawed. I just have to make that skip to that all the time. It's not making as much money. But the trailing stop's saving it. Let me go for short only. Turn that visual mode off. Short only. Let's see what that's like. All right, quick and dirty. Give me the numbers. Okay, so not bad. Not bad. Long only did better though, I think. Funny. For some reason. And this robot I know is doing what it's supposed to do. Let me try every tick. Now this I think would make a difference. We 1,800 trades. Every tick will make a difference here possibly. And the British pound, this is a good, healthy, moving market. Spread's relatively tight. Of course, the spread is going to make a difference. Did that just test? All right. Wow. Same diff. Oh, shit. I didn't change it. Wait. I keep doing that. Okay, this is going to take forever now. Okay, that should take some time. I certainly would love to have a robot running. Of course, now imagine you're trading this and you see a drawdown, you might shit your pants, right? So it's doing good so far. You know why? Trailing stop. It's all about my stop, trail, and how big the market's moving. That's what makes money on this robot. The free robot consortium. No, I like this non-directional. There is no moving average. All we have is the delta and what it looks at as far as the ATR, whether it's worth putting it on, and how many in a row. And are we just going long though? So right, I'm trading one direction here. Every tick. Wow, kind of falls off smooth there. 4-hour chart. Huh. Just about the same results. A little less trading, actually. About the same results. So I'd forget that. How about open prices? I get past that many. Open only. Might just blow it up. Well, that's taking forever. Oh, it just blew it up. So you can't do open only. It's just, it doesn't know what to do about that. So my robot, I think, would run an open only for sure. A swing bot. Here's another one. Yeah. See, my swing don't care. Blew it up anyhow. 5,300 trades. Control points only. Less trading. Still blow up the account. Bye-bye. This trades a lot there. So the ATR bot is pretty fascinating to me. Now that is about picking the right. Here's like a scalping bot. This is only trying to make a little bit. 4-hour chart. Let it rip. I think we're still long only. See, it does good. I don't know. Every time I test this thing, I say, it does so good, you know. I guess I gotta launch it, you know. I have to run it. Now, if I do the very small time frame, if I change the time frame, it's going to get clobbered. Watch. So it made quite a bit of money there in the 4-hour. It's taking trades I would never take if it's really trading breakouts on the 4-hour. So if I take it down to 1 hour, I think it's going to beat the shit out of it. It's going to get whipsawed. It's time frame dependent here. You know, it made money, but see, it just didn't have the. And if I take it to the half hour, I know I'll destroy it. Right, so breakout bots. This is the argument against the limit bot. Did that even test that? That was so fast, it didn't even. See, it's going to destroy it. Watch if I take it to the 15-minute time frame. It's trying to trade breakouts of a 1x. Now watch the daily. The daily's mind-blowing. It makes so much money, you could die. You're just like, really? No. I mean, look at how smooth it is. Now, I think it makes more money in the 4-hour, though. The 4-hour is the ultimate for this robot. Everything I've tested for, I've been testing this robot, I dare I say, like 3 years now. It just kills on the 4-hour. That's good money on the 4-hour. So any one of these robots, now to have a team of these running, I do have a team. Here's my scalping. You know, we're just trying to make 5 goddamn pips here. Oh, the trade size, I forgot to look at that. Look how well it does here. Same dumb shit trades. The criteria entry is pretty close on a lot of these. So it's trading a 10K. Right. So you're getting hit, you're getting killed, and you're making You know, you're making 110 bucks here because it's running trailing stops. See, that is chasing. That is what it's like. Let your profits run trade. You know, a few times you hit your target, but for the most part, what you're doing there is, if your biggest win is here at 110, your smallest loss is very tight stop. You're just. I mean, this is a robot should do this. I can't do that shit. I can't run a trailing stop like that. I'd lose my mind. I'm trading manually. Well, semi-manually, I suppose. So look at this. This is your trailing stop, just taking these small losses forever. And apparently that's offsetting all those wins, unbelievably. I'm looking for that first only $5 loss. I don't see it yet. There you go. So now you get into these baby. Look at this. You're just losing 10 cents. It's crazy. Now you're just making zero. People love that break even shit. So, now you're coming up on just, I pulled 20 cents out. Look, I pulled 50 cents out. To me, this is it. This is money management. So trailing stops, right? And I found some code in the library section of MT4 that this guy's got like 9 different styles of trailing stops in the library section. Pretty amazing. Clusters. This is just crude trailing stop. This is literally, you can set, how many bars here? But look, you don't have to babysit that. The 10K you made 2 pips here. 2 pips you made. I give it a bad spread of 20. It's trading through everything. So it's nice, you know. This is a true robot trading on kind of a complex thing, actually. If you look at the code here, it's going to be experts. I got this for free. Can I just click on the code there? Okay. Here is the criteria that's going to matter, though. When does it trade? So you can say when it's going to start and stop. So it's going to only be involved in the most volatile sessions also. So this is critical. This is critical is the period. I put very tight 1. And now it does seem to put on more than one position. The other critical is delta. How far away are your tickets on the breakout? That's why it makes money on the 4-hour breakouts, because it's really a trend bot, a continuation bot. It's getting into the doji, and that's what that looks like. I'm gonna have to throw this on some real money, or some, at least on the Hugo with the. But in the fact that it choose when it starts trading, that's the key. Now, this is something that if you're not going to babysit the market, it may be a way to do it, because I have my profits set in these 5-digit mode. So, yeah, this is a 12 pip stop with an initial 22 pip stop. But the trailing stop is what's keeping you from blowing up the account. So different versions of this, and of course the most greedy target bot would be to run. So the name is the risk. We have, I say, the most greedy bot has to be this. We're going to buy for whatever criteria, very tight settings, and it's going to be 30 pips stop, trailing it with the 50 initial to make 100. And I would say on the pound, that's probably doable. And we're going to set it for long only. We got 1,900 trades out of the other one. Maybe less trades here, and we were able to make 700 bucks. I exit go. Same data set. Okay, it's just getting. Oh wait. Oh, 4-hour chart. Yeah, so look, it's getting killed. It's not making them glorious profits. You know why? It's too greedy. It's greedy bot. Here, This is not so greedy. Looking to make 55 pips though. Kind of greedy. Oh shit! Did I just test that? No. There you go. Nice, right? Because it's not looking for a big move. It's only looking for 55 pips. It's ICT bot here. Look at that. No, I think I do want to start running these guys. Like I said, it's too much work for one person. You probably have to find a partner for some of the stuff. But like I said, I don't need to. Okay, so the retrace bot I was running there, I'm hand placing it. And there's no trailing stop in there. If I could add a trailing stop to the reversal bot, and because it's martingale in, this is single ticket, this is always the same size in this. That would make a big difference. So everything makes a difference. 10K is actually here, so if I switch that to a different size, if I go in the code here, pretty hard to find this shit because you got to open up the right robot. I think I have a 1K in here. I know I wrote a 1K, so. Now, if you write it with a standard lot, it looks like amazing, right? But I think some of that could be not so glorious because of the slippages that are involved in these big positions. Here's a 1K, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. I think of the old. Give it the old college try here. I just kicked my mixer across the room here. Okay, so here we're gonna run the amazing breakout bot here. Okay, let's go for 1Ks. Easy on your wallet, so to speak. So he made $600. I'm pretty sure that's a 1K on there. So going for the, if we put on the euro dollar, are we going to get the same? Yeah, kind of choppy, kind of brutal. I'm going to do the daily chart. So yeah, the Goldilocks trading, we gotta get that perfect fit there. So it does better on the daily, less trading, and it actually does pretty good, And that was long only. I'm just curious, short only, what we got here. 320. That is short only. You're long only. It's kind of funny. I thought we were going the other way, but. So if I go long and short, it probably gets crushed though. So this might be a time, if you think you're above the cloud, to put on your long only breakout bot. Seems to make more money when it buys and sells though. Like it's got a nice, that's a daily chart, go to the 4 hour. For some reason I like this, it just seems to be getting out. And now with the money management on that, if we layer on top of this another huge initial risk there at 25 pips, looking to make 60 with a 15 stop. Okay, that has some nice brilliant moves. On the daily, I bet it does better though. It's funny, daily breakouts, I'd never traded myself, but look how much money, it's doing pretty good. What else we got? Like here's just a really great ratio. 10 pip stop to make 20, constantly trailing the 5 pip stop on the dailies. Amazing, right? 4 hour. Destroyed. Why is it destroyed on the 4 hour and not the daily? 30 minutes going to blow it up. Right? 30 minutes going to have to just destroy it to bits, right? Look at that. Total annihilation. But some reason here in the dailies, out of the gate, that little pop, trying to make 20 measly pips, it does great, see? It's not greedy. It's looking for a nice shallow target. So after looking at this quite some time, here is the most scalpish thing, and it has a longer ATR. We're trying to make 5 goddamn pips on the daily. Can we make it? Look at it. You make 5 pips. 4 hour, probably not, right? Too many whipsaws. Too many signals. Look at that. Destruction. So, now if you run my my bot in that situation, it probably does pretty good. Like here, we'll go for the God knows what bot here. 4 hour chart. Does better than, right? Look, it made fucking $4 grand because it's hitting on martingale limits. So, which robot's right for you? Oh, just pull up the account. But it was so brilliant here. So I think if you have both robots going, you know. But what this robot's missing is a criteria for launch that involves, well, how big was the last move? Okay, you step up to the plate. The way this is trading now is it just keeps throwing tickets out like a fucking idiot. But that's the point of it. And I think I'm going long and short. So if we go long only, the swing bot does better in long only situations or short onlys, depending on the situation. If it tries to trade both sides towards the middle, not so good. And there's no money management in there. There's no trailing stop. I don't know if this is going to pull out of the woods here. It might just get blown up hard here. We still testing that? We're done. Then we blew it up. So, anyways, that's that. So. I should put all these robots into a folder if you want to fuck with them. So the robots here, I'll have to put these in a thing and put a link to all these robots if you want to play robot games. But here's all the shit I wrote: swing bots, retracement bots, deep swing scalps. I mean, those are conceptuals. I would say that the one that's kind of fascinating to me is going to be this ATR bot, which I always come back to. And the 4 hour chart, you know, if it can scalp off dumb shit trades, I would unleash it on the 4 hour, even the goddamn daily. Like to me, I can make more money in a day than that robot's going to goddamn signal. Backtesting, it looks beautiful, but I'm not waiting that long for a setup, you know. I understand that, you know, at the end of the year, sure, if you unleash that robot, it'd be like, look at that, not bad. I could out trade it, you know. I mean, as good as that return looks out on a breakout strategy, you know, I think I could out trade it, honestly. Because I can, in one day, I mean, dollar-wise, because in one day I can make X, you know, in 1 week I can make X. And this is going to take looking at the chart and determining, well, is there any supply that needs to be unsupplied? Is there any demand that needs to be undemanded, right? Defund the supply zones, you know. What's coming next week in the charts, you know, this is going to be the thing. And there's a real stagnation that's coming now. So the drama's over. Dumb shits are talking about relocking down. This is becoming a fad now. Like, in other words, it's like bell bottoms, I suppose. It's fashionable. You've actually made the culture switch to making. I see people wearing masks now. I'm thinking, what's next? I mean, the glitter mask, you know, the glitter mask when sequins on your mask. How about a hologram mask? You know, that's what I'm thinking. A Bluetooth mask is what I'm thinking. Like, if it gets like you're going into a scuzzy area of town, you turn it up, turn up the shields. phasers on stun. People have not accepted the fact they're going to die. I think they lost 90 people in this fucking building that these guys are like, yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about that fucking... Don't worry about the building dropping 4 millimeters a year. What's 4 millimeters? Look at you. You're rich. You live on the fucking southern coast of... you're looking at Cuba from your condo. And then, ba-bam. So that's a vacuum getting filled there. The collapse. So the stock market makes this extreme sell-off, and now we've taken out the new highs. Looks like a bull trap to me. So this would be very much your classic kind of topping pattern where it's just mind-blowing. And crude oil down, up, down. Wow. Yeah, it gets a little like, so the markets start to go. They're going to wave 4 now. We're going to go in consolidation, and the people that trade. So looking at those robots, the way they perform is that when the market's quiet, with the proper size position, the proper size risk stops, and you can make a fortune. But when the market heats up and goes ballistic, it's untradeable. You have to switch instruments maybe. So if you're looking for, if you had a filter of like, I only trade 40 pips, you're looking for instrument trades, 40 pips per 8 hours. You're trying to make 40 pips in 8 hours, and you're really looking for that trade. And the rinse and repeat cycle of that. And you get out. So when it retraces, you got to, unless you want to hold for the whole swing, you're going to have to go underwater again and again and again to get to your final target. And that's not going to be easy if you are up and down on your equity swing is too big for... if you find asking yourself, why didn't I just get out? I was up really big. Why didn't I just get out there? I was doing really good. Why I couldn't just get out there? I mean, come on, we were up X. So what's the problem? Well, it's just every day is going to be different. And the question is, and this is always the one that I thought was stupid. Well, why even trading? Well, to make money, stupid. So, but you don't have to trade if you got money and you just want to live your life. Trading's not for everybody because it's very. You just can't have any of these social rules of confirmation. Is it going to be okay? And that's never going to be okay. It's never. I think you can see it by the masks and the Frank Dodd-Franks. These you can see by the regulations and the. Now they want to get rid of Bitcoin. It's just a joke, You can't stop that train. That ship sailed. You ain't getting rid of that puppy. Sure, you may take this and that down, but now, it's not something I would invest in, but it's going to be a transfer agent for years. You can't kill that. No, never. It's not going to happen. And even bartering systems, even service for service. I mean, like the prime example, ashamed to say, is Hunter Biden paintings is proof that markets exist outside of logic. So if you may think the price is overbought, you may think you want to go short Hunter Biden paintings. Look out, because should he break his arm, I'm going to double the size of the paintings. And if it turns out that he starts doing cocaine again, I can see the price going up, like Andy Warhol kind of mentality there, like, oh, the more out of fucking mind you are, the more you're worth, And maybe that's where it's going to go culturally because, a lot of this is clickbait, the show, it's a show, and these are, tune in for the controversy and the hate of it all. Anyways, that's my 2 cents. I'm put all these robots in a folder here, and you can torture yourself with them as need be.